Add 9 chords and added 9 arpeggios are bound to create a beautiful colored sound in your solos and progressions. Now, many composers over time have used exactly this chord to create the most beautiful songs and solos. Sting used them in Every Breath She Takes, and Steve Vai used the add 9 arpeggio in his song Glorious. To name just a few, among a vast collection of songs that incorporated this special dreamy added 9 chord and added 9 arpeggio. The abbreviation add stands for added. So what it means is that something is added to the chord that is notated in front of the abbreviation. So C added 9 means that you should play a C major chord and add the 9th note of the C major scale to this C major chord. Now the C major chord, built from the root C, the major 3rd E and the 5th G, is now enriched with the addition of the 9th, the note D. Now let's first listen to the C chord without the addition. This sounds like this. Now let's add the 9th to the C chord and see how this sounds. So that's the difference, right? C chord, C add 9. Now we could do the same thing with the minor chord. And let's do this for the E minor chord, for instance. The 9th in the E minor scale is the note F sharp, and this note will be added to the E minor triad, creating an E minor added 9 chord. Now here's an E minor chord without the addition, and here's an E minor chord with the addition of the 9th, the F sharp. Again, quite a difference. E minor chord, E minor added 9 chord. Now if you look at the C major scale, you'll notice that the 9th is exactly the same note as the 2nd. So why we call these chords added 9 chords and not, for instance, added 2 chords? Well, the name we use depends on where the added note is added in the chord. Do we add this note before the 5th? Then we call it an added 2 chord. But when the note is added on top of the triad, then we should call it an added 9 chord. But most of the time, however, the name added 9 is used for both versions of the chord, and there is no distinction made between the two. Now, sus2 chords versus added 9 chords is another story. Although both sus2 and added 9 chords have the same note added to the chord, there is a distinct difference between the two. Suspended chords are characterized by the omission of the 3rd in favor of the 2nd note, whereas the added 9 chord is a complete triad plus the addition of the 9th. So both chords do have the same color note, but suspended chords do not have a quality property, and so they are neither major nor minor. Added 9 chords, however, do have a major or minor quality. Now this is how the suspended 2 chord sounds. And this is how the added 9 chord sounds. So that's the difference between the suspended 2 and added 9 chords. Now, added 9 chords come in different shapes all over the neck of the guitar. Some in an open string format and others in bar chords or movable shapes. Now, for the major version of the added 9 chord, we can use a couple of movable shapes. Now, one is with the root on the 6th string, like this. And with the root on the 6th string, like this, but with a little bit of a stretch. One with the root 5th string. And another one with the root on the 5th string, and again with a little bit of a stretch. And we have a shape on the top 4 strings, like this. Now for the minor add 9 chord, we could use these movable shapes. One with the root on the 6th string, one with the root on the 5th string with an uncomfortable stretch, and one shape over the top 4 strings, like this. Added 9 chords appear on specific degrees within the key. In the major key, we'll find the added 9 chords on every degree except for the 2nd and 7th degree. In the minor key, we'll find the added 9 chords on every degree except for the 2nd and 5th degree. Now the same goes for the modes, of course, because they are derived from the major key. All the modes have 5 added 9 chords that we can use, like for instance here in this C Lydian mode. Now that we know what added 9 chords are and what the difference is between the added 2 and the added 9 chords, and how added 9 chords distinguish themselves from suspended chords, and now we've seen the most important chord shapes, now we can safely proceed to the arpeggios in their full aspect. Now the easiest way to create added 9 arpeggios is to transform a simple major or minor triad arpeggio into an added 9 arpeggio by, how could it be otherwise, adding a 9th degree from the scale to this arpeggio. Now this is the G major triad arpeggio that most of us know, I guess. Now by adding the 9th, the note A, to this shape, we'll end up with a nice G major added 9 arpeggio. Now we could do the same with the G major, with the G minor arpeggio, excuse me. By adding again the 9th to the minor shape like this. Now in the next section, we're going to explore other more popular shapes for added 9 arpeggios. Playing in position means that we try to stay at one spot on the neck of the guitar while playing the full arpeggio. And we can create 4 arpeggios that stay in one position. 2 major arpeggios, one with the root on the 6th string and one with the root on the 5th string. And 2 minor arpeggios, one with the root on the 6th string and again one with the root on the 5th string. Now you see, these arpeggios are comfortable to play. Well, the next patterns are created by position shifts and do not stay in one position, because they are built with repetitive patterns over the octave. And it's very easy to learn them in a practical way. Now the first and easiest pattern starts on the root of the 5th string, and this is a major added 9 shape over 2 strings that is repeated over string 3 and 2 and has a tail on the 1st string. You can also transform this to a minor added 9 arpeggio by lowering the 3rd in the arpeggio shape, just like this. And the second pattern is a little harder to play and starts on the root on the 6th string. This is a major added 9 shape over 2 strings that is repeated over string 4 and 3 and then again over string 5 and 6. And we can transform this arpeggio shape to a minor version like this. Another great way to play the added 9 arpeggio is the way Steve Vai would do, and among others of course. This approach is based on larger intervals, which characterizes some of Steve Vai's licks and riffs. And I made a tutorial about Steve Vai's trademark licks that uses large intervals. That might be interesting for you. Now the lick starts off with the root on the 5th string. Now the arpeggio sounds like this. Now the next example is based on the simple 1-3-4-6 progression in a minor key. On both minor chords of this progression I use a minor added 9 arpeggio, and on both major chords I use a major 7th arpeggio. Now the next one is a vamp around a 1-6 minor progression, where I use the major added 9 arpeggio over the 1 chord. Now Now the minor added 9 arpeggio is very suitable to combine with a minor pentatonic scale. It adds a special mood to the typical sound of this blues scale. You don't need to play the added 9 arpeggios, or any arpeggio for that matter, over the chord with the same root. You can also play arpeggios over different chords, like for instance a minor added 9 arpeggio of the 3rd degree over a minor 7 chord, like C minor added 9 over A minor 7. Now this technique is called superimposing, and it means that you layer something on top of something else. In this case the C minor added 9 chord over the A minor 7 chord. Well, you get the idea, right? By doing so, the notes of the C minor added 9 chord get a different function. The C is now the 3rd of the A minor 7 chord, and the E flat is a diminished 5th or the sharp 11th and functions as the blue note, giving it a bluesy sound. The G is the minor 7th of the A minor 7 chord, and the D is the 11th in the A minor 7 chord. And it sounds like this. Another great way to use this technique with a minor added 9 chord is to create an altered scale sound over an altered chord. And the most played altered chord by far on the guitar must be the E7 sharp 9, also known as the Jimi Hendrix chord, and the E7 flat 9 chord. In jazz it's very common to play an F minor added 9 chord over these two altered chords. Now the F will function now as the flat 9. The A flat will function as a major 3rd, because the A flat is the same as the G sharp. The C will function as a sharp 5 or flat 13. And the G will function as a sharp 9, being the same as the F double sharp. It sounds like this. Just like studying chords, it's a good idea to study arpeggios in different positions on the neck of the guitar by using inversions. Now, of each major added 9 and minor added 9 chord, we can make 4 patterns based on their inversions. Now first, the major shapes with the root on the 6th string, and they look like this. Then there are the major shapes with the root on the 5th string. And after this we'll explore the minor added 9 arpeggios and inversions with the root on the 6th string. And finally we'll study the minor added 9 arpeggios and inversions with the root on the 5th string. And this concludes this tutorial about the beautiful and versatile added 9 chords and arpeggios. Now there's a lot you can do with it in any style you like, so quit your job today and immerse yourself in the world of added 9 arpeggios. It's a great asset for all your licks, riffs and compositions. Well, I hope this was crystal clear for you, and that I can see you in the next QJamTracks tutorial or even a backing track. Greets from the Netherlands and bye!